Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Christmas Eve, and I'm chilling in the evening, and I thought I'd just get on here and go ahead and send out a Merry Christmas message. So yeah, it's like when I look at the camera, as opposed to looking at the screen. See, that's the trick. I don't look at the camera. I look at me. I look at you. That's how I know I'm looking at you. So I will just share some music and a few just random thoughts. But the one thing I wanted to say for sure is I want to just send out a really big thank you to everyone. I cannot remember everyone by name. And I do forget over time who has sent what. But I've been on here and I've just been blessed time and time again. I certainly hope that this is low enough that the computer bot doesn't pick it up and block the video. I want to leave it on. It's in the background. Let me turn it down some more because it's like for my mood. But people have sent me some really wonderful things, besides music, tokens of appreciation, cards. This is what I'm listening to. A Reminiscent Drive. New York City Dharma revisited by Jori, Hulkonen, and Love from San Francisco. Now, I just kind of happened upon this. It's funny how I seem to remember this, yeah. But it's like there's the remix on here on the B-side, 2 sides to every story. It's very simple, but it's one of those things that I really like and find myself playing on repeat. I've had this for several years. This came out in 1998. It's an example of a nondescript record that probably is, just kind of like junk to most anybody else. Might be somebody else that knows that really likes it. But I really get a lot of enjoyment out of this particular remix that's going on right now in the background. Today I received a couple of items. One apparently for review. I don't know who the connection is here, but I'm going to go ahead and review this now because I know what to say because it hits me right away. Apparently the name of the band is Helmet of Gnats, and the release is Travelogue. I think this is still slated for release 2021. I know that the vinyl is coming out in 2021. The label is Ambient Music. It's new to me, the label and everything, as well as the names on here. But I like this. This is instrumental, progressive, slightly, almost kind of, there's a bit of fusion element that takes me all the way back to, it won't sound like it, but for some reason, Tony Williams' Lifetime was one of the things that popped into my mind as I listened to this, as well as other things. But I like this. These guys aren't playing blazingly, but they're good players. This is recorded rather well. Seems to be part of the deal here, how it was recorded and giving the information here. I like this, and I can recommend this. Helmet of Gnats. Like I said, it's on the progressive fusion side. Folks at anywhere from the Gong School moving into Nucleus, stuff like that. Maybe Alan Holdsworth a little bit, maybe, you know what I mean? I like this. It was unexpected. Again, it's part of what I appreciate about my position here, and I can share this with you. I had seen this online just a few days ago. Someone had posted it, but I didn't read what they said. But the cover caught my eye. I like that. Helmet of Gnats. Now I also received another present today. Robert, I won't say his last name, but he messaged me and said he wanted to send me something, and said if I already had it, to give it away. Now I didn't have it yet, but since I didn't know what he was sending me, I've special ordered a white vinyl copy of this because I'd like to have one of those. I'd like to have one of the colored vinyls, but I was given a copy of this, and it came in the mail today. McCartney III. This is a regular black vinyl copy. I'm going to keep the shrink on it because I'm going to, when my white vinyl comes in next week, hopefully, I'll take this and use it as part of trade value. But man, I'm glad that I got this to listen to. It makes all the difference. I've listened to this online, but I've said it many times, there's nothing like dropping the needle and listening to music like that. I really like this. I like this a lot, and I can see how it's just, you can criticize it, but I just think I dismiss it because of several factors. Paul McCartney's history, his age, and when I listen to it and how it feels in every song, it's like every song had to get to a point, I can hear it, where it's like it had to get to a point where it was satisfying Paul for it to keep going, for him to continue it. And it's nothing, trying to prove nothing to no one. He had fun with this. There's a joy in the making of this. And it's really just kind of proves, this is Paul McCartney, the guy who wrote all those amazing songs in the Beatles with John Lennon, as well as just by himself. This is actually quite wonderful. Thank you, Robert, if you see this. I kind of had a sneaky feeling that this was probably what it was going to be. But like I said, I got a chance through Recycled Sounds. He said he could get me a white vinyl copy. Now, Garrett was mentioning that I ought to get an orange because that's my favorite color. But to be honest, Garrett, if I could have my druthers on this one, I'd like to have one of the others. A red or a blue or a green, or is there a yellow? See, I'd like one of those for this. It's just the way it catches my eye, the design. So really like this. And I'm just, so I can go on about it, Okay, so I go from being dismissive about it a week ago to raving about it today. That's real life, okay? Speaking of that, I had pulled this earlier. I put some other things away, but I was listening to this picture disc of Beautiful Night from Flaming Pie. Both songs are really good on here. Love Come Tumbling Down, as well as Beautiful Night. Mr. Paul McCartney. It's a nice little picture disc. Same picture on both sides. So I'm having a nice day. I haven't gone anywhere. I didn't even shovel the snow for the mailman. When I went out to start to shovel, it wasn't as deep. It wasn't really very deep, and it was more of this crunchy crap. And tomorrow the temperature is supposed to get up to 40. So how about I just wait and let nature help me. Haven't been playing much Christmas music, and this is not a Christmas song, but in a way related. Mew, She Came Home for Christmas. I was thinking to myself, it's a Japanese CD single. I don't think this is on vinyl at all. But I'd been thinking about stuff that's related to Christmas. I know that I can't remember, and then this popped in my head. It's really a plaintive song, Jonas really sings his heart out on this. He really does. That's what I like about him. He sings. He'll get to these points where it's just like he just opens up. It's very, very innocent. and beautiful and beautiful. Just finished listening to a side of this. It just feels right for today. It's not Christmas music at all, but it just has that kind of, no, it just feels right today. John Zorn, The Dreamers, The Gentle Side. If you know John Zorn and his oeuvre with his sax playing and writing and all of his stuff, all of it, and his label, very intense cat, very intelligent and eclectic. And this is a quiet, vibraphone-led affair. It's just really, every track is lovely. And some things are, what is the term? It's like the thing that Philip Glass, Steve Reich, and David Borden are good at. This cyclical thing where it's a repeating pattern, but it just shifts just ever so nicely. So I just listened to that. Again, Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm not feeling a Christmas spirit. What I'm feeling is the need to reach out, or just make sure, because I'm doing it on all my social media, because this is a real connection that we have with this COVID. With all the isolation, we're actually able to be connected here. But I just really want to send out that, and it's just coming back in waves, big waves, this message of love, really, through Merry Christmas. And that's what I say, okay? Kwanzaa's coming up, Yule, Happy Yule, Festivus, Hanukkah just finished, whatever. But the one that I grew up on that, has the most resonance is to say Merry Christmas. Certain records will just, like, I'll be sitting here and then things will say, play me. And I just got this year, the 30th year remaster of Pale Saints, The Comforts of Madness, their first album on 4AD. Boy, do I like this band. And I do like the choir boy sound of the voice. I do like that. That's part of what's going on with the leader of this band, who also plays bass, which I find it's like, when these guys are really good for him to be able to sing and play. He plays chords on the bass. He doesn't play single notes. I mean, pretty much all of his parts are chords. Interesting band. I think they're deceptively good that you can miss if you don't listen closely. You can just dismiss it as kind of shoegazy. These guys are really good. And really enjoyed listening to this, all of it, today. I'm going to go ahead and go, because it's the evening and it's like Merry Christmas, okay? And it'll upload, it'll take hours, because I know it's going to go, I'm going to go probably at least 20 minutes. I'll just go with my mood. Not mood, but mood, or just whatever. It's like, okay, let's listen to this. It doesn't have to be a continuum as far as a type. It's just whatever strikes me to play. And today has been a day where, because of the snow and stuff, I've just been sitting here doing really nothing but playing records. And online, like a lot of people, all day online. And it's just fine, people, It's fine. Some people kind of have problems, or feel a complex about spending too much time online, and if they do, then they need to stop. But I don't have a problem with my habits. And like I was saying earlier, this is an actual connection that we have that's being put to good use because of this pandemic. It's also just part of the way that we live, so I'm cool with it. So I've just been spinning a lot of records. Red Lorry, Yellow Lorry. Are they from Leeds? Is that where they're from? Some working class town in England, not London. But they have a really crunchy, heavy sound, crawling mantra. Interesting on this one, it almost starts to pick up kind of a Western sort of cowboy feel to me, but not in a really weird way. That was, in a way, the rhythms, when they go back to the beginning, they've used a drum machine the whole time until the end. Or a guy with a drum machine and a guy that's just playing a snare along with it and a cymbal. But kind of a loping cowboy kind of rhythm a lot of time. I love that band. Got into some Primal Scream. I got this used, and unfortunately the cover got damaged, but this is Swastika Eyes, the single, and some remixes, which is pretty good. I like the album. I have to be in the mood for the album Exterminator, but really like this. Primal Scream with Kate Moss and their version of the song by Lee Hazelwood and Nancy Sinatra, Some Velvet Morning. I like this as much as the original. This is all snaky and sexy and kind of subversive. I like it so much I've done a version of it myself and have actually performed it live. You know, I've made my own version based on their version, which is different. I love the groove, you know, and a couple years ago I was performing it live here in Omaha as part of my set. Good stuff. Hadn't played this in ages, you know, and so again, the word Christmas, and then it does sort of resonate with Christmas to me. But Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, Ryuichi Sakamoto, which reminds me, because there's a connection here. I brought up online yesterday, I think it was, about how I really can't watch a lot of TV and movies because almost regardless of what it is, they put me to sleep. I've probably been able to watch some movies recently, but I've had to kind of watch them in pieces because they put me to sleep. And then the comment thread that started, I said from the beginning, it's like, it has to do with my work and working with people, how I've just seen so much that behavior is predictable to the point that movies and a lot of the basic things that they're about don't capture my interest, you know. And then I get all these flood of suggestions to the point that I was annoyed and was telling people. And at some point, some folks were getting annoyed at me for getting annoyed, but I told you at the beginning, I said, I didn't ask for no, you know, shit, that's who I am. I said it in the beginning, so I said, I'm not looking for no suggestions, and people did anyway, which kind of reinforces what I understand about human behavior, some basic things about people, and human behavior, things that I have learned through work and school, but also observation. And so it's just like, people can be so typical. Sure can, but boy, did I get into this. You know, I'm just letting my thoughts roll. Feeling all right, doing all right. I really hope you guys are doing okay, because it's a tough times, and I'm not going to talk about politics. That stuff just it enrages me. If you want to know what I feel, I write about it all the time online. Pretty obvious. Man, is this just incredibly fantastic. Peter Brötzmann's Sextet Quartet, Nipples, free jazz, pioneer, the man who has damaged his lungs because of the way that he plays, but doctors have told him to stop playing. That's the way this comes with these. He plays anyway, and he just plays like he's going to die. And it's very intense, and it's like, sometimes it's almost like exorcism. You know, you can hear, it's like, oh my goodness, this man is really damaging himself to reach for what he's trying to reach for. And, you know, to witness it, you know. And that's what's happening on this album. This is way intense. It's a reissue. Ooh, that was something. A while back, someone asked me, do I like music from Argentina? I wish I had more music from Argentina. I wish I had a bunch, you know. Only thing I could dig up on vinyl, it came to mind to say that as I was looking for stuff to listen, is this Arco Iris, Peace Pipes from Argentina. Folk, based, but also percussive and just other elements, kind of exploratory to me. This is really good. I hadn't listened to it in quite a while, but Arco Iris, Peace Pipes. Really enjoyed that. To talk about the Tangerine Dream that I bought recently, I listened to sides 3 and 4. This and that they really came into. I guess I was finally in the mood for this, and it's like, oh, this is bubbling real nice, and the chordal shifts are fresh. You know, it's like, oh, there's Ulrich Schnauz, because I like Ulrich Schnauz. And you got a bunch of other records back here that I pulled out of the closet. I've been listening my ass off, listening to a bunch of Mountain. All those records I showed, I listened to almost all of those Mountain records. I played this a couple times recently. Really like this Nektar album. I think it's my favorite. Probably need to listen to some of their other albums. I've got most of them, but Tab in the Ocean. Really like this album. Y'all know about Nektar. The Reegs, when the Chameleons broke up, a couple of the Cats, the guy that did all the covers, I believe the guitar player, yeah, started this band, the Reegs. And this is a 12-inch single of theirs where they do, I believe it's a, is that a Kinks song? Yeah, See My Friends. And then their song on the B-side, Savage Garden. Really cool. Real cool. German group I don't know much about, but something I managed to hang on to from, I think, the 90s. Vorgruppe, or the 80s, maybe. Because the primary sound going on here is the use of the Casio tone. I've still got one. I used to play a Casio tone as well as a old cheap synthesizer in Digital Sex. They have a distinct sound. A particular line of the early ones. This is minimal, new wave, but this is really good. Really good. Menschenkinder. It's in German, so I don't know what they're singing about, and it don't matter. It's just the rhythms, the grooves, and again, the chord structures. This is really very, very good. I'm so glad I kept it. Very good. Another band that you don't hear about, and yet when I listen to them, it's like, this was really unique sounding. There's a scratchy punkiness to it that's also got this electronic thing, but not like anybody else. Disco Inferno. Technicolour. I've got a couple other things on CD. This is, I think the main cat's name is Ian Krause, because I've checked out some of his solo stuff since. I highly recommend this, Disco Inferno. Really been enjoying this music. It's a lifesaver. This might be the last thing that I show before I sign off. The Welsh band. I think they're from Wales, right? They're not English, they're Welsh. Man, and for some reason, this album, their album Revelation, they called it Manpower in America. And this is way cool, you know, because it gets pretty psychedelic, actually. Prog and psychedelic. And I have a white label promo of this bad boy. Somehow I scored this years ago. So that's mainly the main music, okay? Again, leave a message, folks. Let me know how you're doing, because we're in this mess together. And we're either going to be all right together, or we're fucked together, you know. And both are true, you know, when you look at it on a continuum. You know. Okay, I'll talk to you.